everyone. What's going on? What's happening? What's up with it? Yes, that's right. You guessed it. This is the Millennial Masterclass podcast back for episode 5. You hear me? Episode 5. 5 golden rings. That's 5. I'm talking about it, the whole thing. So I am Trist, okay? The prettiest one. I'm branding that. It's a whole thing. There's like a little, you know, like the little copyright C. I didn't put that shit after there. It's a whole thing.
But today is I'm rolling my eyes. But go ahead.
Today is a very special episode, actually, because it is the 5th episode. We're gonna give the people what they want. They've been like, "Yo, when you get your first guest on? When you get your first guest on?" Well, it's happening, but we're not gonna bring him in just yet. We're gonna throw it over to Texas, and she's gonna tell you what's good. Les, talk to him. What it is, producer.
Hey, y'all. Happy, I guess, Thanksgiving coming up. I know typically right after Halloween, people start playing the Christmas jams and stuff like that, but I just want to pause because we do have some good eating that's going to occur in a few weeks. So
are you one of those folks?
But
do you actually play Christmas stuff like right after Thanksgiving?
No, my sister does. Oh, okay. I'm not that bad. Okay. My sister does, though. Okay. She's like on it. Like she's little Miss Mariah Carey, like all in the spirit, playing all the jams. I ease into it.
As you should.
But anyway, yeah, you know, we got some holidays in between. I don't want to skip any. And plus, you know, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite. I love to eat.
Talk about it.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Shauna, a.k.a. Shauna Don. And shit, it's already starting to get cold in D.C. So I'm not ready for this winter to come yet, y'all. Like I don't know how many more winters I can do.
What you mean? Like you have a finite amount of winters in your bones?
Yeah, I'm feeling like that. I feel like I got about 2 more in me. But I'm sitting here with a blanket and everything. Like I'm already too cold.
What was the temperature today, Sean?
Cold.
Okay. All right. Moving right along.
It was just cold.
Cannot relate. I'm sorry.
I know it's still sweltering hot down there, isn't it? What was it, like 85 today?
It's just a comfortable 78, high of like 85. It feels nice.
Weather.
Yeah.
You know what? Normally we like to catch up, but today we're going to bring in our guests because we want them here. We want to ingratiate them inside this experience. So he is a Howard University alum, Webster alum, of a member of the one of the greatest fraternities ever, the military, the Army, better yet. Please bring on our good friend, Mr. Terrance J. Williams, Captain Terrance J. Williams. Please, welcome to the show.
Come on, Captain.
Okay. Captain. Thank you.
You're a captain forever, bro. Oh, Captain, my captain.
That's true.
What's going on, bro?
Something like that.
Thank you for coming to the show, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being on here with you guys. You know, just chilling. Just got done. You know, doing it big with Halloween in New York. That was a good time.
Where did you stay?
Right now, we're a friend opened their home to me. It was very gracious. I had to do a lot of work on my own, though. You know, I had to cook my own meals. Had to walk dogs. I had to earn my keep, but you know, I still appreciate the discounted room board. You know, I gotta say I appreciate that.
Yeah, I saw your little Spider-Man costume. That was cute. Who thought of that idea?
That was Tristan.
Thank you. With
the antics. It's Tristan with the antics. You know what this is. It's always Tristan with the antics. And it's just how many of us are going to join in with the antics. This time it was me and Taylor.
He acquiesced easy.
Yeah, that was adorable.
No, because what happened with this was funny is because with the costumes, there was a point where we're going to have a 5-person costume. I'm not going to say what it was because I don't want somebody to steal it from me, but it was a dope ass idea.
Because he wants to recycle it for Halloween next year.
Okay, you're right. You're not wrong. Anyway, look. So it was a dope ass idea. I was like, okay, great. They told us too late they were coming, so then we couldn't get the 5. So I was like, shit, what can we do with 3 of us? So we were, and there are pictures posted. Check my Instagram. It's there at Naked Face. I promise you, it's all there. We went to the Spider-Man meme, like where they're all pointing at each other, and it was dope. You just have 3 Spider-Man just walk, 2 Spider-Man and 1 Spider Lady, just walking around New York. You know, just being the friendly neighborhood Spider folks. It was a good time, man. Spider-Man pulled up to Brooklyn.
Did y'all have to do the point a lot?
We did do the point a lot.
No, like a bunch of people were like, "Oh my God, are you guys the meme?" Yeah, it was. It was funny as hell. It was fun.
No, and it was crazy because we had choreography. It was great. It was a good time.
And as soon as you hear that there was choreography, now you know that it was Tristan with the antics. It's always Tristan with the antics.
Acquiesce, bro.
This is the idea.
I never did not think it was Tristan, but we just had to put that out there for the people who don't know Tristan as well as we do, but we knew.
It's true. That's true. That's for everyone out there in podcast land. Tristan always comes with the antics. Period.
Always.
Anytime there's antics, it's probably Tristan.
Okay, yes. I'm just saying it was a dope ass antic. Like, we're in New York, we got to do it big. You can't just be 3 spider people. You had to have a little choreography, a little zhuzh, a little pizzazz. We're in fucking New York. Like, this is the land of Halloween.
Ledge and building.
Exactly. Now, the only thing we didn't do is have our web shooters. That's like the one little piece of the costume that we missed.
Ooh.
But we had little Spidey utility bags. It was cool. It was a good time.
Or at least like
they call them spider bags.
It's a little Spidey bag.
Spider pouch.
Yeah, we had a little spider pouch.
Spider pouch.
Yeah.
But even though y'all didn't have the web shooters, we're at least like making the sound effects like
Low-key, I did.
Absolutely unnecessary.
I made some sound effects.
Absolutely
totally necessary. What do you mean?
Absolutely unnecessary.
The full costume is not put together without the sound effect.
I mean, to be honest, I was on the silly string. Like that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna.
That would have been perfect.
No, that would have been
we thought of it
nonsense and putting a bunch of silly string everywhere. Just leaving
less nonsense.
Halloween,
but it would have made sense.
When else would you do it? Like,
I mean, you're not wrong, but like, who wants to hold a fucking can of silly string all night? Put this right.
I do on Halloween.
I also want to know how is that less nonsense than making sound effects and no web shooters?
I mean, no one really heard my sound effects. They were just
or
me
being
making
3
them.
Spider-Men or 2 Spider-Men and 1 Spider Lady. I mean, if you're gonna do it,
I mean, the Spider-Verse.
It's all antics.
That's real. The Spider-Verse has all kind of spider people in it, so they had a fucking spider pig in the movie. So I get it. Fine.
Oh wow!
Did they not have a spider pig in the movie? Am I incorrect?
They had a spider pig. They had a robot spider, like an anime spider.
That was wild.
They had Spider Noir. That was it was wild as hell.
Shout out to Nicolas Cage.
What a time.
Just gonna put that out there.
Y'all saw where I was. I just got back from Vegas today.
Talk about it.
Went to Vegas over the weekend for my girl's bachelorette party. She's getting married in a few weeks. My girl Brittany, shout out to her and Jonathan. She's my freshman year roommate at Howard. Huh?
Where are they getting married? In Vegas as well?
No, half an hour away from here, like hometown. Like,
okay.
Gotcha. Around where I am, in Texas. So we surprised her with a trip to Vegas. All expenses paid. We what did we do? We saw Lil Wayne at Dre's Saturday night. Of course, we had to do a little shopping. Girls like to shop a little bit.
Of course.
Ate some amazing food. And of course, Halloween night, we got dressed up. We were cowgirls in Vegas. So we had on our cowboy boots and our whole denim get up. We had some cute jackets that had like the fringe on it, and it had like, hers was white and had bride on the back. And then ours was like beige and had like bride tribe and like babe of honor.
Did
and
you
all
say
that
fringe
stuff.
on?
So we were,
Did you say it had a fringe on it? Like it had a John on it? Huh?
Of all the things she said, that's what you pulled out. She said fringe. She said babe of honor. She said all expense paid. Like there are so many.
I heard those other words. They were
out
clear. They were clear. That was why I was confused. I was like, a John.
What are you questioning, Tristan? I missed it. What did you say?
I thought you said something about a John. I was like, that's a Sean thing. What's going on with you? And
I did not say John.
That's okay.
But anyway, we walked up and down Fremont Street and everything. So we had an amazing time. That was my first time going to, let alone planning a bachelorette party. So we had an amazing time. Definitely a Halloween for the books. Dre's was definitely one for the books. Lil Wayne.
Was everybody dressed up?
What do you mean, in costumes or when we went to the club?
In costumes at the club.
Oh, well, no, a lot of people went cute like we did. And then some people didn't wear costumes. That was Saturday night. Sunday night, that's when we were on Fremont Street, and literally everybody had on costumes. Everybody was letting their freak flag fly. They were just like, we just about to be out here looking crazy, doing crazy things. It was packed, like dumb packed. Thank you. I'm so happy I'm vaccinated. But yeah, it was dumb packed. But a great time.
Is like Vegas Halloween the move, and I just didn't know about it?
Apparently, I had no clue, and it wasn't even like cold yet. They said it gets cold like in November, so it's like now's the perfect time because it's not too hot, not too cold. It was hella people out there. I ain't gonna lie. It seemed like, and we got to the airport around like 5:30 this morning because our flight left at 7:30. When I tell you, I've never been in TSA line so long. It was literally all the way almost to the back of the doggone airport, and then came and they had to like loop around and stuff. We were scared we weren't going to make it. Like everybody was leaving this morning to go back to their respective places. They were like, okay, we had our fun.
I would have missed that flight.
Girl.
So we need to write this down.
Never at the
Terrance, take
airport
this
that
down.
early.
Halloween in Vegas 2022. Take this down. Take this down now.
And then next to that, write silly string. So y'all don't forget.
We can't. Well, we could be Miles Morales.
Name again.
No, we could be
I
Miles
was about
Morales.
to say the black one.
Is that
We'll talk about it.
Miles
It's in
Morales.
development. It's in development. Because I start planning for Halloween like now.
As soon as Halloween is over.
Exactly. That's how you get the best shit. That's all I'm saying. Can you tell us what happened in Maryland and
So
Halloween?
can I just tell
what
y'all
kept you from New York? Can you please just tell us? Because you're supposed to be in New York. I'm just gonna put that out.
Some ungrateful kids. I'll tell you that. I candy for these damn children in my neighborhood. I turned my light on. I brought a big bowl for the candy. I was so excited.
What kind of candy you put out there though?
I had some Twix, some mini Snickers. That let you know it was the mini ones. Definitely not giving out full bars. Some Kit Kats, Reese's, some ring pops. Like I had a good
ring
variety.
pops. Oh shit, you went all out.
Oh, I'd have popped up for a ring pop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't. When I saw it in the store, I was like, "Dang, that kind of looks good." Let me purchase a little.
Get a little ring pop for
just
the
in case I had leftovers. But in fact, I had no one to come to my house. It was sad.
Do you just not have kids in your
Every time a car
neighborhood?
would ride by in the neighborhood, I kept coming back outside. Like, anybody gonna come over here? No.
Do you just not have kids in your neighborhood though?
There are kids in my neighborhood. I guess they just don't trick or treat in this neighborhood. Maybe they went to where the better homes are. I don't know.
You gotta start local first. That's how you get that baseline of candy. Then you go to the other stuff later.
They didn't even try.
That's real. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that, Sean. And I believe you had some guests yourself, 2 friends of the show that I pulled up.
I did. I was gonna call them something that's not their name. Chad and Jackie.
What are you gonna call them?
You know exactly what she was gonna say.
Oh.
But yeah, they came in town. They're actually still here visiting. So hanging out with them has been cool. They helped me start painting my kitchen. So we did a little something. We only did one wall, but
Chad can paint?
I mean, we can put a roller on the wall. Yeah.
I've never heard of him
Isn't the
doing
most
so this is news to me.
job.
I
I
didn't
think
know.
not. No, we had to start off. We pull out the paint, start playing tic-tac-toe on the wall and acting ridiculous. But
I'm glad you guys made it an adventure. All I'm gonna say.
That might be their house now, Sean, because they're better house guests than I am. I ain't never helped you paint.
Right. You know what, Leslie? Now you got to come with more. And now that I know people be charging labor for stays, I'm going to definitely have to start. I'm like, oh, we got to pull up this carpet. And, I do want to change my shower head, and I don't know how to do that. So
there you go, Les.
Maybe I'll get my guest. It seems really simple, but I don't want to mess that up.
Don't you just untwist?
In some shower heads, yes. Some no.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Go to the left.
Yep. And then get your tape, and then put the tape in there. So then when you screw it back on, you have that watertight seal.
It's not that hard. I promise. You got this.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what my guests say. Earn their keep.
Are you running like a halfway house and we just don't know it? Is that what's going on? Like the next thing we're gonna hire somebody on parole there?
Airbnb or bed and breakfast. He said a halfway house.
She said, "I got somebody on parole here
You just
right
called
now."
y'all broken homeless. How you feel? How you feel?
That's not what I said. Halfway houses be looking nice.
Called y'all inmates.
Okay.
Who said inmate? Who said the word inmate?
Halfway house?
Halfway house.
Airbnb or bed.
First off, they're on parole. They are no longer in anywhere. So that's just disrespectful. Okay. These people are on parole.
So just running some felons in my home. No, it's
They're
not what I'm doing.
ex-felons. They are not currently felons. Will you let these people rehabilitate? Ex.
You know what? You're right. Let me be quiet.
We're here for the rehabilitation. Shout out to y'all. It's our podcast. Appreciate you.
Yes. Turning your lives around. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm always good for a good comeback story.
Hello.
So we all enjoyed Halloween. I'm happy to hear that. So can I ask this question though? So like I know we covered a lot of this like last Halloween, but like what are some of the best Halloween costumes y'all saw this year though? Like I know we got a little segment coming up, but like if anybody on the street, Anybody else? Like, I know a couple that I saw that I was like, you know what, y'all did the damn thing.
Celebrity wise, shout out to Sierra. Did y'all see Sierra?
Ooh,
No, I didn't see Sierra. What'd she do?
TLC.
She was Selena, and then she was all 3 members of TLC, and she gave a little music video doing the choreography. So
that was
she had
her?
to shoot that. Yes, and she had to shoot that like one at a time to do the choreography and everything. Like she did that. She put in some work.
I gotta look at her Selena costume now.
Yeah, I saw a clip of Sierra doing the TLC one. I didn't realize that was her. That's dope. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know
the
she
best
did that.
one. The best one that I saw out on the street. We were on the train. This group of friends came in as like all the holidays. So you had somebody dressed up as like New Year's, somebody was dressed up as Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
No, but it wasn't cute. It
wasn't
cute. They didn't have any Juneteenth.
Yeah,
they had no Juneteenth. I was offended. It's terrible.
Oh,
should have been Juneteenth.
Yeah, it wasn't no Black Friends.
Kwanzaa.
There wasn't no Black Friends. Yeah, that was a little. No, so they had a Jewish holiday in there, but they didn't have Kwanzaa. They didn't. There was also there was no 4th of July.
Well, that's good.
I mean, that's probably for the best. But yeah, like there were no Black people in there.
Like you don't know one Black person with a dashiki somewhere. It could have been Kwanzaa. Just pull up.
Well, I wouldn't want to be the token Kwanzaa friend.
Okay, so you get 2 Black friends. One is Juneteenth.
Someone needed to be Kwanzaa, so
but see,
there's your invite.
But see, and then the other thing about that is like, if you were gonna dress up as Juneteenth, like how exactly would you do that?
The colors.
I would just be free. I would just be free. I walk around.
Maybe like a shirt with the fist
just
on
being
it.
free. For you, like I don't have to wear anything. Just grab your Black friend. I'm Juneteenth.
Earrings or something, like some Bantu knots in my hair. Like
I would, honestly, if this is the one time where I endorse people not dressing up, just be fly as fuck. Be like, I'm free. I'm Juneteenth. That's it.
Hello.
You know what?
Like we should have said Nate was Juneteenth.
I'll take it.
We should have said Nate was Juneteenth. That would have been it. That would have been it. So for the listeners who don't know out there, we have a friend, Nathaniel. I'm calling him out. He doesn't like to dress up for Halloween. He's not really a big fan. And so, like, you'll see some of the pictures online, but like he was under the impression he was Nick Fury. And we were like, you don't have an eye patch. What are you talking about? He said, I'm Nick Fury. Like, I'm like, as a hipster? What are you, Nick Fury in college? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, and then I was just like,
let me look up who Nick Fury is.
Did he go out with y'all?
He did. He did. Yeah.
I must say, I didn't see him in any photos or anything. Like,
no, he's on my photos. Look at my pictures. He's there. There's a photo of all of us together. And then Ish and Kayla, they went as
wait. We gotta back up. Sean, did you say you have to look up who Nick
We're gonna go past that. We're gonna go right past it. We're gonna go right past it. We're gonna go right past that. We're not even gonna.
Did he have on some kind of leather or
no, he didn't. That's the point. That's the point.
Nick Fury was the one Samuel played, right? Samuel
correct.
Yeah. See, I'd be knowing.
We didn't question it.
Good job, Les. Good job, Les. I was supposed to just move past that. I'm sorry. I didn't understand the assignment. My bad.
I thought Terrance was stopping the show at first. I'm like, what happened?
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna say my shout out goes to Lizzo. Lizzo apparently just killed Halloween. She murdered it. She was freaking Baby Yoda. She like had like 3 other costumes, and then Lil Nas X, he was Voldemort.
Wait, Lizzo did Bebe's Kid. She did what's her name? Dorothea from Bebe's Kid.
Yeah, she did that too.
That was hilarious.
She had like 5 costumes, man. She was everything. She even performed in one of her costumes.
I think so. Yeah, she had quite a few. I lost track.
She did a lot of costumes. Like Lizzo, literally, I need to hang out with her next Halloween. Lizzo, baby, Vegas, let's go. Halloween, let's do it. Let's go.
Did y'all see Tiana Taylor as Madam Slay?
As who?
No, let me look that up.
As Madam Slay.
Always.
That's dope though. It sounds dope.
And I love a good family costume. I've seen some good family costumes on the internet.
Oh, those are everything, low key.
Yeah, I love a collective family. Oh, damn.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tiana did what needed to be done.
Like what babies? Like where did she have 2 kids? Because her stomach is just like what?
Surgery is where she had the 2 kids.
No,
that's just her genetic. She's always been skinny like that. Like
I mean, she's taller though. So I mean, because isn't she like 6 feet tall or something?
I don't think she's that tall.
Is she tall?
I think she's tall.
I don't think she's that tall. Is she?
She gives 6 feet. Like I feel like she's a whole Amazonian. Every time I see Tiana Taylor, in my mind, she's like 6 feet tall.
Did you see Tristan? You see your fave, Chloe Bailey? She was Betty Boop and then Lola from Shark Tale.
I actually did see her.
I saw that.
I for sure did see her.
Yeah,
She did a good job. Honestly, who I liked, who I felt like was like the biggest troll of Halloween was Rihanna. She dressed up as Gunna. I was like,
Yes.
really?
Really? Oh my
I was like,
gosh.
really? This is what we doing? Like, you can't put out no
Rihanna
music,
plays
but you
too
can dress up as
much.
Gunna. Fuck out of here.
You know, she has a lot of time.
Plays
I
all
love
day.
Rihanna and her antics.
And she killed it. She had it down. She wore it better than he did, honestly.
She did. No,
Like
she
in-
looked
no,
No,
amazing.
in
like
reality-
so like there's
Ooh,
all
did you
kinds of
steal
people
her
right
look?
now that are like, you know, now that Rihanna's worn it, it's not a bad fit. It's like, y'all
You
gotta
know
stop.
what?
But seriously,
Bad.
she had it on and I didn't think anything of it. I just had only
It's like the Rihanna effect on fashion. It's like Rihanna wears something and like it doesn't
Yes.
matter what it is. It's
Yes.
like, yeah, that's hot. That's hot. Like the same way, it's like the Beyonce effect on like everything else. You know, it's like Beyonce does. It's just like, hell yeah. Why wouldn't we think of
I'm
that?
all in.
Is that
Beyonce.
okay? All right. Shout out to him. All right. Okay. And I can't necessarily concur with all of that, but that's real.
That's
One
you
of
don't
the-
think that's a real thing?
I just feel like if Beyonce starts playing lacrosse, she's not. You know what? She might actually get a lot of girls to play lacrosse. You
Wait
might
a
be
minute.
right. I'm gonna bring
The
that
girls
back.
Be
will be
lacrosse
playing- the
sticks
girls will
all
be
over the
playing
hood.
lacrosse.
They'd be popping up like crack. It'd be crazy.
You're not wrong.
Lacrosse stick.
Yeah. Okay. Perhaps.
Man,
Do we
people
have
be
any
running
other
around with their Ivy Park lacrosse sticks? Boy, you crazy.
low key? I know she would send a box to one of those lacrosse girls' schools. She would like, it's your Ivy Park box, guys.
For sure.
Enjoy.
Exactly. Shoot, the Yukon team would do a reveal. It'd be all over Instagram. Oh, absolutely, it'd be a bestseller. 100%.
We might have
100%.
just given her a great PR idea, and if she does that, I want some credit. That's all I know. Like I want her to shout us
Come on the
out.
show, B. That's
She
all.
does
That's
good.
all the credit. Come on the show.
That's what we did.
That's all we
Just
need.
come and touch the podcast. That's all you.
Really, that's all she has to do. Just be like, I enjoy this. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's a good time.
She's somewhere on her burner account listening right now.
Right on her Insta. Did y'all see Karuchi?
No,
I haven't seen
what was
Karuchi
she
in years, so I mean,
I don't.
She
keep
went
up
out of
with-
that
with
tequila
Karuchi.
bottle, that reposado. How crazy is that?
Oh, she looks fucking intense. That's hilarious.
Okay,
When you
honestly,
have money, you can just pay somebody to create your costume, paint you, do
See,
whatever.
that's
be
what I
like,
was
when
gonna
I saw
say
that,
about
I was
like
thinking
all
about,
these 5 costume change things. It's like, dang, it must be great to do Halloween with money.
Yeah.
You know,
money and
Whole
resources.
different experience, you know.
right?
Your
Right.
costume is a video shoot. Like what? Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
The
Right.
whole
It's
fashion
like
show.
You have a production.
it's like your 30s is like redoing your 20s with money, but then like when you get like real money, you could just get to redo everything. Just like
Redo your whole life.
Exactly.
that's the goal.
that's
Actually,
a really great analogy.
My
That's
Halloween
almost like a
gonna
whole
change in
episode
my
topic.
30s.
It's also a great segue.
It is a great segue, actually. Sean, what did you say?
I said that my Halloweens are gonna definitely change in my later 30s.
What you mean you're gonna dress up?
No, I'm gonna have more money, so the experiences could be better.
So now she can pay kids to come get the candy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're still gonna be at
She's not
home.
gonna
Like, what are you
pass
talking
out
about?
candy. She's gonna buy the big candy
Exactly.
bars.
Like, you're still
That's
gonna
what
be at home
She's
passing
gonna
out
buy
candy,
the
so
big
what's
candy
different?
bars. She's gonna give out the king size Snickers, and then the kids are really gonna
They're
come.
gonna
That's
really- they're
gonna be the
gonna say-
He
difference.
said, I got $1 billion. I was just passing out candy from a helicopter.
You know what's
That's
gonna
all.
happen? They're gonna come to my neighborhood because I live in such a great neighborhood.
Or they can't get in the fucking gate. What are you talking about? Like, what are you?
Because Sean's gonna have a butler. He's gonna be like Alfred. He's gonna open the door. He's gonna be like, "Here, take your
I have your
king size."
candy. I'm gonna look out from
Snickers
my
bar.
window at the kids in their cute costume, like, oh, this is great.
Are you gonna rappel down from this helicopter and like, here you go, guys, candy. All right, I'm gonna jump back up. What? I hope you mean you're gonna be in another
She didn't
country
say she's
somewhere.
gonna get money and turn into Batwoman.
I just
just
hope what
gotta
that
bribe
means is
the
I'm gonna be
parents.
in another country somewhere on Halloween. That's what I took it as meaning. That's what I heard. Like she's like, I'm gonna be in Abu Dhabi next Halloween. Okay,
That's
cool.
possible, too.
Somewhere warm, absolutely.
Alright.
I can see that for me.
Next BPP trip, we doing something for Halloween next year out the country.
I'm here for that. I just feel like we gotta go a place that's actually gonna celebrate Halloween. I don't want to go to some place and they're like, Halloween is evil. I'm gonna be pissed in my costume. So we just need to make sure we look up the cultural customs before we get there. That's all I'm
We
saying.
get there, they be like, don't bring that demon mess over here.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
well,
good on
if
that.
that's what we're gonna do, then we need to go someplace
Dun,
that
dun,
celebrates
street.
Day of the Dead. So somewhere in South America.
Eel
So we gotta go to
Dead
Mexico City?
Vegetables.
See, I don't think I
I
want to
just
go
thought
that
of
far.
Don't- not
I don't think I wanna
necessarily
go
Mexico.
that deep into it, you know? Like, I don't want to really celebrate the Day of the Dead.
We don't wanna
So the
conjure up
thing
those
is,
spirits.
while the people that really celebrate the Day of the Dead are over there celebrating the Day of the Dead, the people like us, the tourists, are going to be out like, oh yeah, they're doing their thing. we're gonna have a party.
We just don't want to be walking and then like a little spirit come walking up beside us as well. Like we don't need none of that.
Why are you channeling the spirits?
Just be nice to the spirit. Just be nice to the spirit.
Why are we channeling spirits? Why are we channeling any spirits? Are we in New Orleans? What the fuck are we doing? No, absolutely not. No.
I'm just giving context to the ideas y'all are throwing out. That's all.
Throw it away. Throw it away.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Terrance.
Don't pick it up. Put it down.
Thank you, Les.
Leave it alone. I see poltergeist. Don't leave it alone. Leave it alone.
No, see what you're talking about, Tristan, is you're talking about like disturbing them. We just talking about partying with them.
Like you play Lil Boosie loud enough, you can disturb anybody, bro. No.
So we don't play Boosie.
That's not the point.
He's disturbing himself.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You always get worked up over something. Chill out.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, well, we're gonna move right along here today. So the reason we've asked young Captain Williams to the show, I know he's a former captain, but it don't matter because he's fresh out the Army, but he's gonna get into that a little bit later. Is because
delivered.
Talk about it.
Delivered.
In a minute though. In a minute. So the theme of this episode is, what do I want to do when I grow up? I mean, it's a whole series and we'll touch back on it over different topics. But today it's 10 years ago versus reality. And this is a man that in the past decade has done quite a few different things. Like low-key, he's a man of mystery. Like you can't see him right now, but he has this Mercutio goatee and like, it's mysterious. So he is the perfect person to really talk about this and to really go for that. So we're going to throw it over to Les and we're just going to jump right into it.
All right, now, Captain, we like to ask this question to all of our guests just to make sure, you're one of us, that you real and you're a millennial. So,
okay.
Off the top of the dome, spell millennial for me.
Spell millennial?
Mm-hmm.
M-I-L-L. Oh my God. M-I-L-L-E L-E-I I-A-L? I don't know. I've never had to spell millennial. What?
The correct spelling. Go ahead, please.
Wait, I was just gonna say it kicked our butts too. We were like creating a podcast and naming it and stuff and typing it out. It was like, wait a minute, we definitely misspelled this.
Oh, okay, cool.
We had it misspelled for like 2 weeks. For like 2 weeks.
Okay,
bro,
so
realized. It was ridiculous.
Okay, so real millennials can't spell millennial. Got it.
That's what it is. Yeah,
pretty much. The correct spelling is M-I-L-L-E-N-N-I-A-L.
A-L.
Yeah.
2 L's, 2 N's.
Was not gonna give you that.
I know, bro. It's okay. It's okay. I literally was in a circle telling people about the show one time, and literally I had 10 people spell it 10 different ways. So it's okay. You're not alone, bro.
So millennials can't spell millennial.
Not at all.
That's amazing.
Not
I love
at all.
Not at all. But anyway, you won't be the last person to spell it, so you're in good company.
Thank God.
But again, thank you for being our first guest to the show. But how are you? Like honestly speaking, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good right now. But it's been a really crazy year. And like, I don't even mean like 2021. I mean, from this point in the year right now to the same point in last year, it's been a complete, I mean, I know millennials are also bad at fractions and math, but like, it's been like a 180 and then another 180 and then a third 180. Like it's been like a 270 and then we pivoted again. Like it's been a lot. Yeah. It's been a lot. Like for the most part, yeah, I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm in a pretty good spot. I've got some different things that I'm working on, some different things that I'm trying to get in order. This is a good spot right now. And I'm happy for that.
Well, good. I'm so happy to hear that you're in a good spot right now. I think a lot of us have had to make some pivots and some changes and, kind of redirect. So can you talk to us a little bit about when you were 21 years old, what did your 10-year plan look like? Like, you just know in the next 10 years, I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to be here. I'm going to do that. What did that look like? And I guess touch on if you accomplished some things, if you didn't, or what kind of setbacks you experienced at that time. Just talk to us a little about your 10-year plan.
It's really funny that that's the first question, because when I was 21, I think was when I actually sat down and made my first 10-year plan. I had a professor. I was at Howard. I was in ROTC, And my professor of military science, her name is Tyra. She actually ended up becoming my realtor when I moved to Atlanta. So
oh my God,
really
I've met
full
this
circle
woman.
moment. You have met this woman. She's a great lady. When he met her, he was really pissed off because he needed food and like he was yelling all kinds of stuff. Really terrible.
It was
really bad.
I waited in the car 3
anyway,
hours for this man to hot Georgia's son. I just want to let that be known, okay?
There was a lot of waiting. It wasn't necessarily my fault. But anyway, so she was the first person to really like have me do a 10-year plan like that. And the way that I did it, I'm not going to say that it was wrong, but I definitely do not necessarily do it exactly the same way as I did. So the way that I did it back then was I said, you know, I want to accomplish this and this and this and this and this. Like when I think one thing that I said I want to do was I want to have my first BMW. I want to be married and have kids and blah, 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 like all these things. But one of the things that I did that I will keep and I have kept going forward was that I put, it wasn't really a graph. It was like a web, idea web. And so I knew that like 10 years from that point, I was probably still going to be in the Army, which I was. So one of the things that I did was I put a lot of questions. And so the questions were things like, do you still want to stay in the Army right now? Do you still want to be in the branch within the Army that you're in? If you're in a relationship, do you see yourself being married to this person that you're in a relationship? And so the career path side, what I did was I put like where I thought I would be and said, okay, if I make this decision, it will look like this, and these are some of those options. And if I make this decision, it'll look like this, and these are some of those options. And I just kind of branched it out like that. And that was super helpful because it kind of gave me framework for how I should be like moving through my career and like when I was going to have to make these decisions. And so even though it was a long way off, it was still something to think about while I was on my way to that point. It was definitely a good, I'll say, project at that time, but I definitely learned a lot since then about how to make better plans and how to do more towards like accomplishing those things that are in that plan.
Okay. All right. So you touched on you being in ROTC, which transitioned to the Army. How long were you in the Army?
7 years. Give or take.
Correct answer is too long. Too long.
I mean, that is absolutely the correct answer. That was absolutely correct. But
that goes
it was
into
somewhere around 7 years.
Okay, that goes into my next question. Did you always see yourself making a career out of this 20 plus years, or was it always going to be like a certain time limit and you were going to get in, get out type of thing? What did that look like for you?
So that is one of the things that changed while I was in. When I was in ROTC, I got a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't necessarily get. Like I got an opportunity to travel to Africa. I met like a bunch of different, very high ranking people, partially because of being at Howard, partially because of being in DC. Like Howard actually, the ROTC program at Howard has produced more Black general officers than any other ROTC program in the country.
Wow.
Talk about it.
So
talk about it.
While we were in school, we had 5 or 6 living general officers that would just come around all the time and talk to us about like when they were in the program and when they're in the Army. And that like is a super rare thing for any program. And then like to have them have that kind of access to them like while we're on campus was crazy.
Was there a 4-star among them?
Yes, actually, there was a 4-star that was still on active duty. His name was Michael Harrison. Yeah,
he was that's wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was the commander of whoever's in Japan right now. He was out there. He served for a long time. There was a 4-star. There were a couple of 1-stars, I think a 2-star and a 3-star. There was at least 5 while we were there. I definitely took myself way too seriously when I was on campus. And everybody knew that like Terrance was going to be in the Army forever. Terrance is going to do 20 years. Terrance is going to be a general, like all this greatness. And when I got in, the experience that I expected to have was completely different than the experience that I actually had. And there was just a lot of things that happened where it was just like I had an unusually bad Army experience. Like I had a lot more bad experiences than good. And most people don't necessarily have that. And so when it came, like there came a point where I wanted to stay in. And I mean, this was like within the last year, but like there came a point where like I was literally like looking for a reason to stay in, and everything that I was trying to do just got shut down or turned around or something like that. And so I was just like, you know, I got to do something else. When I told all my friends that were in the Army that I was getting out, Terrance, you're getting out? Oh my God, like, these like, must be crazy. We all got to go. And so now, like, everybody that I know, like, I'm like, yeah, y'all, I'm getting out. Everybody's like, oh yeah, it's time for us to go. So it's like, somehow I became the benchmark for like how well the Army was doing.
Oh,
and
wow.
So now, like, I'm like, yeah, y'all, I'm out, and I'm like, life is great. And everybody's like, I'm next.
You're a fairly accurate barometer. I feel that.
Yeah. That's how I felt about working for Enterprise. It's like, you know, it was great until it wasn't. And it's like, once you're out, it's like, woo, I made it over the hill. Like, you know, life is good now. But shout out to Enterprise. Mm-hmm. That was a great little first job out of college. Anywho, so with your time in the military, what are like 1 to 2 gems or something that you took away from that experience that you're like, you know, even though it didn't happen how you thought it was going to happen, you can appreciate what you learned from that overall experience?
So the thing that I have taken away and kind of take like everywhere so far is the importance of mentoring people and giving people like the knowledge that you have. Right. So like if you see somebody who's coming up and who's like, you know, trying to do what you did, or like is trying to have like the type of career that you had, or trying to have the type of experiences that you have, like giving them like the honest, no bullshit, like, hey, these are some of the things you can look out for. These are some of the things that, you know, you need to be ready for. Because when you don't have that and you kind of just feel like you're walking into a situation where you aren't prepared, it feels like you're getting jumped. Like all of a sudden, it's just like, where the hell did this come from? Like, and like every day, you know, you're just facing things that you weren't ready for or you didn't expect. Whereas like when you have that mentor or that person that you can talk to, you know, like you can bounce ideas off, or, you know, you can say like, hey, I'm dealing with this right now. I want to know, did you ever deal with anything like this? How did you handle it? One of the things that that I'm doing right now is like, for all the people that are saying like, oh yeah, I'm getting out of the Army, it's like, okay, let's talk about what you need to do to make sure that once you get out, you have all the benefits that you need to have, you talk to all the right people that you needed to talk to, and you're actually prepared to get out. Because the thing about the Army in general is that like once you declare like, hey, like I don't want to do this anymore, it's time for me to get out, they do not always do a very good job of giving you that time to prepare for life outside the Army. Because as far as they're concerned, until the day that you're not in the Army anymore, you're still in the Army. And so they still want you to do Army things. But you know, you still have to be able to like, hey, I'm going to need a job. Hey, I'm going to have bills that aren't going to be paid anymore. Hey, like I'm going to have to go to doctor's appointments. I'm going to have to get health insurance. Man, health insurance?
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Like I could talk for an hour about everything I've learned in the last 9 months about health insurance, because Jesus H. Christ, like, ridiculous. And so, but like making like anytime somebody, and like it's been like people that are getting out of the Navy, people that are getting out of the Army, people that are coming out of the reserves, like I have that same conversation with them every time. It's like, hey, these are the people that you need to call. If you need me to walk you through it, call me, you let me know, things like that.
So real quick, that sounds like a new business opportunity for you. You should be like a consultant to help people on their steps of leaving the military. I'm just throwing that out there. You're welcome.
Leslie with the business opportunity.
You're welcome.
I thought that information was free. Now you charge them for the information.
Ooh.
There's ways around it.
No, I mean I get it. It's real. It's a good business
like,
though.
No, so like for example, right? You have people like Wounded Warriors, the Wounded Warrior Foundation, right? What they do, they're a veteran service organization. And so what they do is like, you know, they do their fundraisers and they like do all these things to help veterans, and they put on all these events and everything like that. A lot of like their day-to-day work is like they help veterans who are making claims to the VA to make sure that they process their documents correctly, that they make sure that they get their stuff in on time and everything like that. Because, you know, a lot of like when you think about the older generations of people that came out of the Army, like a big deal with them is that they didn't make these VA claims. And, you know, some of them, like they had things that really, really could have been helped by having, you know, VA healthcare or having like, you know, some income from the VA because, you know, they went to war, they, you know, had some kind of injury that they had to deal with for the rest of their lives. There are organizations out there that do it for free. And I'm sure there's also probably somebody out there doing it as a consultant. Exactly. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Start off as a consultant and then create the Williams Foundation and then just go for, you know, just give me like 10-20% off of these ideas. We'll talk offline.
You got to get something together. You know, we all gonna need a percentage now.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk. Dinner or something. Hello.
We'll talk. I see you.
Yeah, when you're ready to promote the event, we'll have you back on and you can talk all about the foundation.
Exactly. We got you.
Or you know, when I throw my first fundraiser, y'all can come in and see it.
Yes,
that broadcast live.
Can we host it? There we go. See, there you are. Now we're on the same page. There we are.
Yep. We right here.
Hosted by Millennial Masterclass podcast.
Okay.
Make sure you spell it right on it. Make sure you spell it right on the invitation.
That'd be so embarrassing.
It's gonna be spelled wrong, and then we're gonna cross it out and write it correctly. That's what we're gonna do.
That would be cute.
I like it. Create our logo.
I like that.
Real talk though.
I like that idea, actually.
That's a good logo idea. Okay.
Hey, see, this is I like this space. I like this space.
Just bouncing ideas off each other.
It's a safe space. Like that's not for everybody, but it's a safe space.
Oh, it's never said. Oh, okay. Not for everybody. I'm glad you put that in there because
not for everybody. But for most people, it's a safe space.
This ain't always a safe space.
For the vast majority, though,
it's always a funny space. It's just not always safe.
I'll give you that.
I'll
give you that.
Yeah, anybody can get it. Yep.
I will give you that. 100%.
And I sleep just fine at night. Sleep just fine. Go right to sleep on it. I haven't even thought about it twice.
I bet you do.
So, Terrance, to stay on the track of talking about being in the military, one thing I know about the military is that people have to move a lot. How has being in the military been for you to maintain romantic relationships when you have to move around so much being in the military?
Let's get into his business, y'all.
So
you stand steady, iceberg. You stand steady.
Now, in the beginning, it was kind of hard. Part of it is because the way that the Army kind of sets you up is they put you in all these situations and they're like, all right, well, we need you to do all these things. And like, well, I don't have time. It's like, well, like, do you have a wife? It's like, well, no. Well, you need to get one. And it's like no, it's not like I promise you, it's not like it's something that they actively tell you. It's like,
are you sure? It sounds that way.
You need to get a wife. like it's not part of your welcome packet or anything.
Are you certain? It feels that way right now.
But
and they give you a list of women to choose from. Like, what's up, bro?
But no, they don't. Like, absolutely not. God no. Like, God no. I can't even imagine what a list of women from the Army to choose from would look like. Jesus Christ.
It would be great.
Oh, no, it wouldn't. No, that would be a reality show.
It'd be the worst shit ever.
And I want no parts.
I would watch.
No parts.
Let's call Mona up.
Okay, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Soldier, we got your wife for you.
Terrible.
Anyway, no, so the thing about it is though, like you kind of get into these situations where it's like you are always on the go. And so like a lot of times what people do is like the very first person that they kind of hit it off with, this is the one. Come on, let's do this. The marriage rate in the military is probably super high, but the divorce rate is like the national average for divorce is like 50%, but like the rate in the military is crazy high. Like it's like kind of ridiculous. You know, a lot of these people, a lot of especially like your younger people who like go in like straight out of high school and like they start like, you know, getting ranked really fast and like they start doing the whole movements and everything like that. It's like just really high, like really high. And so for me in the beginning, it was really interesting. It was really interesting because like for the first like 3 years, I don't think I was anywhere for more than 9 months at a time. And so 9 months is a really short amount of time to try and like build any kind of relationship with anybody. And then when I first got to Texas, I ended up linking up with this girl that I went to high school with, this girl that I had this huge crush on, like all through high school. oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah. And so yeah, it was like, oh yeah, like this gonna work. This gonna work. And it was like, you know, like her mom had been in the military for like 30 years or something like that. It's like, oh, she already understands the lifestyle, blah, 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 blah. And then I went to Korea, and I was in Korea for 9 months. And then like that didn't work out, you know? It's not like I can say like it was like shocking. Like it wasn't super shocking because, you know, it's still a long distance relationship. But it was also like the fact of the matter is at that point, like at that age, I was 25, and like 25 is definitely not the age to be thinking about any type of marriage, long-term commitment type of stuff. It's just not. But when you get in those situations where it's like, okay, like I'm going to be gone for 9 months, who's going to handle my stuff? Who's going to like take care of my affairs, blah, blah, blah. Like you kind of do have to start thinking about those things. So you have to be very deliberate about dating and romantic relationships and all of that, especially when you're in the military, because you will like constantly be in these situations where it's just like, oh, like one day it's just like, oh, we're going to date, and the next day it's like, hey, I need you to do something for me. Like the woman that I was married to, there was one situation where we were supposed to go out on a Friday, and that day I got told that we were going to California for a month, that I was going to be in California for a month. And so instead of going on this date, instead we were preparing for me to leave for a month. And we very much could have ended the relationship right there, because how do you deal with somebody who says, hey, I know we just met, but I'm going to be gone for a month, but I'll see you when I get back.
Right.
At the drop of a dime as well. Like that's very true.
Right.
On a date night. It's like, I got to go out.
Right. 3 days notice. 3 days notice. That sounds like some real shady stuff.
If you wanted to ghost me, just ghost me. You ain't gonna come with this vibe. Okay.
It's like you can look at my orders, boo, if you like. I mean, I'm gonna be gone. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'll be back.
You going to see your wife in California? You really married?
That's what I'm thinking. He's married already. Okay.
And the bad part,
people in the military, they get married super, super soon.
And benefits.
That's what I always wonder. Like, do you get an extra check or something? Because why do people in the military get married?
You get more benefits.
Kind of yes.
Single, right?
Kind of yes. Like it's not like a whole extra check, but like there's definitely extra money when you start having kids or getting married, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that doesn't seem like. Does it seem worth it to be married for the check? Because that doesn't.
Some people would tell you yes.
Well, okay. So
depends on who you married to.
Depends on who you're talking about.
It depends on who you're talking about. But see, here's the thing that a lot of people forget when they think about those things. What people forget is that the people making these decisions are 18-year-olds. 18 to 25-year-olds are the people that are going directly into the military out of high school and things like that. And so when you think about what you were doing at 18, think about your decision-making processes at 18. Think about who you were dating at 18.
Like I said,
right. Okay, so now think about all those things, and then think about, okay, if I am basically living in something like a dorm, but if I just go and marry this person that I'm already dating anyway, then I can get my own place and I'll get extra money. Yeah, I think, we should get married. We should just get married. Yeah, then I don't have to deal with this roommate and I get in trouble because his side of the room isn't clean. Like I can just move in with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you have to think about this like an 18-year-old. You can't think about it like your 30-year-old self.
Right.
Because 30-year-old,
we never do it.
You will definitely look at them and be like, this is a bad idea. Trust me. And
the check would have
because we know
a lot.
Right. And it is though. But like that's the thing. Like it is. Especially so a lot of people talk about military pay and everything like that. But the best thing about military pay is that it's guaranteed. In general, it is not a whole lot, but when you think about people from the middle of nowhere or from not the best situation, and then putting them in a situation where it's like, hey, now you have a regular check. And so any type of increase, $500, $600, $700, $800 a month, just because she lives with me. What? Yes.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I can do a lot with that. I had to make a lot
go out
of
more.
when I was
18.
18.
I don't have to see her because she get on my nerves.
I can get the new Charger, which is generally what happens. Get that new Mustang, you know.
Right. Everybody get the Charger. Oh my God.
That is definitely part of the benefits package.
Like sometimes the recruiters will talk about it. They'll be like, look, if you want that new Mustang, you just come sign on right on up with me. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. I'll just speak right to it.
There's so many things about it that can just be explained further. I'll give you a perfect example. So when I was in Korea, mind you, at this point I'm 24. Yeah. I was driving. I had gotten a BMW from my aunt, older, like it's a 07, like slightly older, not the newest or anything like that. Got in an accident. They totaled out the car not because like it was just a crazy amount of damage, like it was a low speed accident. But what happened was the car was, too old, and they were like, it would take too much to fix it. So they just totaled it out. So I went to Korea. So I went over, didn't have a car payment or anything. And I found out that they have this program where basically you can buy a car and have them build it for you in Korea then they do this in like Germany. They do this, like it's for people that are overseas, but you can buy a car, have them build it for you, and you start paying for it. And then they deliver it to you when you get back. People do that. No, people do this all the time. Yeah. Like but the thing about it is, so like, let's say like right now it's 2021. So you can't go over there and be like, okay, well, y'all got any 2017s? No, like you have to get like a 2020, a 2021, or a 2022.
Okay.
But like, that's the rub. And so like, right. And so you're gonna pay for it. And then like the interest rates be crazy, just something ridiculous.
But you mean like 36% or something wild?
It's not like that, but it's definitely like, so if your credit is good enough, you should be able to get like a car loan for like somewhere like under like 4 or 5%. Like you're doing good if you can do that, right? But like we're talking like double digits. Anytime you got a double digit car loan, like you fucked up, kid. And so the thing about it is like these programs, like they'll definitely do that. But what they'll tell you, and the way that they get a lot of people, is they'll say, well, right now you don't have any bills. You're here, you're overseas, you're not paying rent, you're not paying for car insurance, you're not paying for blah, blah, blah. And so all that money is just going in your pocket. So you can put down a nice down payment. You can start paying now before you get back. And then as soon as you get back, you've got a brand new car waiting for you. Again, it's the same type of thing. Like we keep on saying like, oh yeah, like you jump into the military and they got a Charger waiting for you. It's like, no. They make that Charger sound real good. They make that Charger sound real good. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was over there, I was looking at getting a Challenger for a minute. I was just, could have got me.
Why not?
I had almost no bills. I was over there for 9 months, just almost no bills. But I came back and, I took a little time. I came back. I got the car that I wanted.
Well, I'm glad they didn't really get you. That sounds like something like if I'm 18 years old, I think I would fall for the okie doke too. Brand new car.
A lot of people do.
Everybody's getting shipped straight from Korea. This is sounding great.
You got to hear these recruiters talk. Like I remember one time a recruiter came to me and I'm like 17. And he didn't know my father's in the Air Force. So he's a Marine recruiter. He's like, oh man, you should come to the base. There's a golf course. Like you'll get to play right on there. He said, you'll be a star when you come in here, man. We love our Marines smart. And then, so my father was hearing all of this on the phone. He's like, did you tell them to shut the hell up? Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Don't talk to any of them. He said, you leave those jarheads alone. And I was just like, geez, Dad, you can't be. He's like, but that's just how it is. The recruiters are smooth, man. They want to do whatever they can to get you in there.
They're giving very much like Jehovah Witness vibes, the way they're trying to really convince you. It's like, maybe you should chill out a little bit.
It's like better than Jehovah Witnesses though, because because Jehovah Witnesses, they'll come by and they'll knock on your door, and we had. So I've got 2 quick stories. So we had this group of Mormons when I was growing up that came by the church. My mom was like,
why is that funny already? Why is that funny already? I don't know why that's funny already.
Sounds like a bar joke. So 2 Mormons walking through the bar.
Exactly. What the fuck? He said, so there's a group of Mormons.
Yeah, no, so like literally it was these two Mormons that came to our house, and like my mom was like super nice to them all the time. Like she invited them in, and like she like cooked for them and just all kinds of
nice
stuff. Right. And this happened like 2 or 3 times, and then like finally they got to the like, well, you should come to our church. And she's like, I'm a Christian, I'm not coming to your church. And of course, like at that point, it's just like, well, we don't need to be here anymore. It's like, nope, you don't. Bye, have a good day. But
she played the long game with them. I'll be nice to them.
Right. But the Jehovah Witnesses and the Mormons, they come by and they're like, oh, we're trying to get you to come, and like we're worried about your immortal soul and everything like that. The recruiters, they're talking about the right now, like, hey, we're gonna put some money in your pocket. You're gonna travel. You're gonna see the world. We can get you some money for college. That's everything right. Like that, and all those things. Because they know the demographics of the people that they need to be recruiting. So all those things to those people that they're recruiting are going to be things that that sounds real good. That sounds real nice. But the same type of story that Tristan was telling. So there was a Marine recruiter at my high school, and I have no idea how he got me. I have no idea, but I talked to him like twice, and I talked to him like twice. Now, mind you, my dad, my grandfather, both of my uncles on my dad's side, and both of my uncles' wives all served in the Army. Every last one of them.
Oh, wow.
Talk about lineage.
So, right. And so this Marine recruiter is knocking on the door asking about me. And I think I talked to him maybe once, and then I just could not shake him. And so this one time we were in the mall and this man showed up, and
he was looking for you, big dog. He was out here.
They are relentless.
They are. This was back when they wore their dress blue uniform everywhere. So it's not like you could mistake him for anything but a Marine.
Right.
And I remember he walked up, and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, that's that Marine recruiter. Like, I don't want to talk to him. And my dad walked up to that man. He was like, hey, come walk with me.
Daddy said, I got it.
No, you understand. You understand.
I love it.
To this day, I am 32 years old. To this day, I have no idea what my dad said to that man. I never saw him again. I never saw him in my high school again. I never heard from that man again.
Did Dad threaten his life?
I don't know.
It's not important. It's not important what he said. What is important is that he's gone.
But whatever he said was effective.
Wow.
That's
wow.
I didn't want my father to have that conversation.
I need to call my father and tell him thank you for that.
He spoke real gangster there, man. You know he did. He said,
I know he did. And I'm pretty sure I asked him. I'm pretty sure I asked him, but my dad will never tell a story unless you ask him very specific questions. I'm pretty sure I asked him what he said. I just told him that you weren't interested. That ain't what you said.
That's exactly what he said.
Exactly what he said. He just said it a little differently. He said, now look here, Skinny. I'm gonna tell you something right now. My son is going to the Army, not no Marine foolishness. You hear me?
Well, no. So my dad told me he never actually intended for me to go to the Army.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So he said that the reason that he joined was because he spent all his time trying to get better at basketball, never studied, was never in class, and so he did it because he had to.
I mean, your dad hooped.
So that's what he says. I've
never
never seen
none of those skills transfer to you. We've been on the court together many times.
Ooh,
and it is not.
Shot is fired.
No.
Terrance don't play ball. He says this all the time.
That's a legitimate shot. This is a legitimate shot.
He don't play ball.
Listen. I tell people all the time, everybody else's dad threw them footballs and basketballs. My dad threw me books. My dad had me reading Great Expectations in the first grade. Do you know what Great Expectations is?
Yeah, I know the book. I read it then too. That ain't the point. The point is, we've been on the court many times.
That is not for first graders. That's for damn sure.
Where were you when I needed you on the court, sir? And your pops had these hooping skills. I'm upset.
You upset? How you think I feel?
I mean, that's real. That's real. Continue on. I'm sorry to interrupt. I can't
tell that story all the time. I'd be like, so you could have taught me like, a sky hook or nothing? Like, really? Man.
So, Terrance, we talked about you dating and being in the military and being married, but what does dating now that you are divorced? What does that look like? Like, is that the first thing you say to women when you meet them? Divorce?
Say it one more time. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Y'all can't see him right now, but he's sitting here with these pink lights on his face with a goatee, just over here talking about.
It's a whole new world.
It's wonderful.
It's a whole new world.
It's wonderful. Do you feel like a lot of women are thrown off when you tell them that you're divorced?
No, not necessarily. So it's not necessarily something that I lead with, but one of the things that I have been doing now that I'm in this new space is trying to be as honest as I possibly can. And one big thing about that is I'm telling people I am not really interested in getting into a serious relationship right now. And I follow that up with, I am recently divorced. And so right now, it's just probably not a good idea for me to try and get into any kind of serious relationship. That's not to say that it can't happen or that it won't happen. It's just, I don't think that I'm in the headspace for it right now. And that's what I tell them. And so I've definitely had some people that have said things like, well, I've got other people that are more interested and want to be more serious. Okay,
wonderful.
Have fun.
Let them do it.
I hope that works out. I hope that works out.
Say it again. Say it again.
Right. But because the thing about it is, especially for me right now, like moving in this new space is you have to be ready for either one. You have to be ready for the people that are going to say, you know what, I'm not really interested in anything casual. Okay, that's fine. You go and you find something super serious because that ain't me. Or you have to be ready for the people that are going to say, I'm comfortable with that right now. You also have to understand that I'm also out here dating too. Okay, so what that means is there has to be a lot more honesty. There has to be a lot more communication. Like you have to make sure everybody is moving in a way that is safe and that is mutually beneficial. But the other thing about dating after a divorce is that it is very, I don't want to say cyclical, but it kind of ebbs and flows in a lot of different ways. And what I mean by that is the confidence part of it, because getting divorced, like going through that process, is an emotional roller coaster that you just will not ever be prepared for. And when I say that, what I mean is that even if that, hey, this is just not what I thought it would be, everything like that, it's still going to take some kind of emotional toll on you because you were preparing yourself for, this is the last major important relationship of my life. And now it's like, damn, I gotta be out here again in these streets.
Yeah.
Like, good night, because the streets sound fun when you ain't in the streets.
Right.
Like when you in the streets, like
a grass is greener thing.
And then you get out here and you realize half these streets ain't even got no grass. Like, what is this?
Do you think about that?
Out here watering the pavement.
Good God.
What'd you say?
Do you think about that scene in The Breakup where he goes out with his brother for the first time and he's like, look, jokes aren't going to get you fed, but when you want to eat, you come see me because we're going to hunt in the jungle. Because basically this is when they first break up. And so now he has to go date. And so now he sees his brother and his brother's like talking about the craziest single shit you could possibly think of. So somebody who's been dating somebody for like 5-7 years, you're like, oh my God. Right. And so now he's like, look, you can make these jokes, but the jokes aren't going to get you fed. So are you out here eating? Are you feasting? Are you good?
That's a good way to ask that. Are you feasting?
So, are you feasting? I never heard nobody ask if you've been hoeing like that before. But that was classy.
I was gonna leave it at feasting, but I'm glad you did.
We're a classy show, okay? This is a classy show here.
Classy base. Was it a hot boy summer?
I have been very successful this year.
One time for the hot boys.
Okay.
One time for the hot boys.
I've been well fed.
And that's the answer. And that's it. And that's all we need. That's it.
And I hope.
You've been dropping that heavy card.
That purple card. We see it before ourselves.
Yeah, I totally understand that. On a much lighter note, though,
oh, thank God.
have a question for you. So I have a more serious question for you.
Hit me. I'm ready.
All right. If you could pick someone's brain, anyone in the world, who would it be?
Current?
They need to be
could-
alive, bro. You have to
well,
ask them a question.
anybody.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you know, if we're
It could have
talking,
been before they died. Yes, you don't want to pick the dead person's brain, but yes.
if I could pick anybody, I know the answer to this. Just one.
For
Just
now,
one.
yes, bro. This
Just
show,
one, okay.
we don't have 3 hours. We only have the one.
I got no. I mean, like, so I've got 3 in my head, but if I had to pick one of them, I would say probably Issa Rae.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good one.
Love
That's
that.
excellent.
Mhm.
Why? Why Issa Rae?
Because she's fine.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, well, okay, so let's just get this out the way. Number one, Issa Rae is definitely like my kind of, like, have you seen her? Just the tall and that skin and the,
Gorgeous.
So
yes.
the Millennial Masterclass is also a place where eligible bachelors can make their pitch. So he is one of the most Atlanta's most eligible bachelors. Just gonna put that out there. Captain Terrance J. Williams. Issa, if you're listening, sir, go right ahead.
Well,
She
Issa
just
just
got
got
married.
married.
Oh
She
shit, I
got
didn't know
married.
that. I'm sorry.
I know.
Congratulations.
No.
Issa.
Yeah, she did.
Congratulations.
No. Trust me, I know.
Because normally you don't care what the status is of folks' relationships.
Look,
Put it
I
out there.
care. I care about a
I
marriage.
mean-
That's beautiful. Oh my god. that
It
was
is a
exquisite.
beautiful thing, and we wish Issa all the best.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
However, Issa, if you're listening, I'm available. I'm
Come on the
available.
podcast.
Just come on down.
Oh,
We'll talk. We'll bounce some ideas off each other. Anyway, the reason it's Issa Rae. The reason is Issa Rae. So the three that I have in my mind would be Ta-Nehisi Coates, Ava DuVernay, and Issa Rae. And the reason that I would pick Issa Rae is because I think that she would be the midpoint between those two, as far as writing, producing, and making content. Because like Coates as a writer is one of my favorite modern writers. And then Ava DuVernay, as far as someone who has pivoted later in life. And I say later in quotations because when she started her pivot, she was in her 30s, which is where I am now. But she was in her whole career, and then she decided that she wanted to direct, and so she had to make that pivot. And Issa Rae, I think, would be the midpoint between those two because she has been successful as a writer, but we have really watched her build it from the ground up. And if I could just talk to her, like, how did you do this? Like step by step, or not even step by step, because what works for one person might not necessarily work for another person. But as far as if I could pitch an idea or just talk to her, or just, hey, everything that you touch turns to gold, touch my project, like just that kind of thing. Like Issa Rae, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I think that was an excellent decision, actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Issa Rae is definitely one of the top people we want to get on the show. So the fact that you even just shouted her out again, so just so she knows we adore her, just so she knows.
Absolutely.
But I mean, moving right along though, sir, do you have any upcoming projects we should be looking out for?
So right
and I say
now,
that as a fully loaded question because I'm waiting for you to talk about one thing. But that's fine. Continue on.
Go ahead.
So as of right now, I am doing a lot of writing. I need to be doing more than I'm doing, but I'm working on a couple of projects. I have a couple of works in progress. Some are further along than others. One particular is fiction. A couple of people have seen the early drafts of where I'm trying to go with it. The other one is more of a memoir, I guess. Kind of the same. This is why I said Coates would be another one that I would talk to, because his first 2 books, The Beautiful Struggle and Between the World and Me, are memoirs. And I feel, for me right now, I feel like I haven't done anything important enough necessarily to write a memoir. But at the same time, I also recognize that I have a lot of life experience, and I have done a lot of things, and I have been through a lot of different ups and downs to only be in my 30s. And so I definitely feel like that is a story that I need to tell. And the more time that passes, the more I keep on feeling like I'm getting the urges and the messages from the universe, and I'm, you know, hearing God speak to me, telling me like, hey, you need to be writing. And so I'm trying to move more into that direction.
I like that. That's a beautiful thing. Is there anything that you've written that you want to give us a little more insight about, or are we prying too much and we have to wait until it hits the shelf? Is that what's going on?
You're prying just a little too much, just a little too much. I want it to be, writing is one of those things that's never going to be perfect.
Of course.
But I definitely want it to be at a certain level before I really show it to the world.
Okay.
I feel that.
Well, when you're ready, you send us some more pages so we can read. Because look, we're here to help, bro. We definitely are. Because I mean,
just want to read my chapter before, you know, you send it to publication. So I just want to do everything right in my chapter. So okay.
I don't even want to take a pass on it. I just want to read it. I just want to read it. Just take it all in. That's all. That's it. So, but
it's definitely a work in progress. The thing about it is, the part of the struggle for me is when I really started and decided, you know, I really want to start back writing and get into that. The issue is that I was saying, well, I want to do this story first, this fictional story first, and then come back after I've, you know, had some practice and different things, and then work on the nonfiction, the like my story. And the issue is not necessarily that I can't do that. The issue is that my story is more readily available because I know that story. You know, I don't have to make that story up. It's just telling the story that already happened. It's been kind of easier.
Names.
Right. Or, you know, just omitting names altogether.
Well, then that goes right into like the last question of this segment. What does the next 10 years look like for you?
Ooh. So one of the things that I've started to do when I do my 10-year plans is that I don't, and I think I touched on this a little bit earlier, is it's more questions, because what I do now is every year on my birthday, and it works out very well because it's near the end of the year, December 29th, if anybody's looking to, you know, send some anonymous gifts or hit up the Cash App.
Will you even be in the country
later?
Will you even be in the country?
Probably not. So that means that y'all can, you know, just drop in on the Cash App and buy me a drink. So one of the things that I do is every year on my birthday, I'm starting to make it a tradition where I do a 1-year plan. And part of that, and the way that I organize it, is I write down personal goals, financial goals, and then professional goals. Like in my career or in my job, a year from now, I want to have accomplished these things. In my finances, I want to have, you know, paid off this or saved up this. In my personal life, I want to have, you know, done these things. But then the other part of it is questions, you know, as far as things that I feel like I should be thinking about. Do I like where I am? Am I enjoying the work that I'm doing? Am I trying to move? Am I trying to get a new job? How can I help my friends or my family, you know, achieve the goals that they have? How can I support the people that are, you know, pouring into me? What can I do to be a better person to the people around me? You know, things like that. So I always put those questions into that plan. And then I also do a 5-year plan because I feel like 10 years in general is a very long timeline to try and plan for. And so when you do those individual 1-year plans, that feeds into your 5-year plan. And then that'll feed into the 10-year plan. Because my first 10-year plan, I think it just came, like the actual 10-year period ended in 2021. And when I went and looked back at that plan, I would say about half of what I put on there I had accomplished. I don't think that's a bad thing, because
I think that's an impressive thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a big part of it too was there was a lot of non-tangible things. Like a big example would be for a long time, one of the things that I kept on putting on my plan was, you know, helping my sister to like be more independent. When I first moved to Texas, she moved down, she stayed with me for a little bit, then she moved to Austin. I co-signed on her apartment. And so right now, you know, she's living in her own apartment. She just had a baby, my nephew, he's going to be 2 in February. And
he's going to be 2 already?
You know, yeah, man, time's flying. And so, you know, that's not to say that like I was an integral part in making her independent or anything like that, but it was definitely a goal. It was definitely something that I was, you know, praying for, that I was talking to God about. And so by putting that on my list, it was, you know, when an opportunity comes up to contribute to that, how do I make sure that I do that? Moving in that way and not always centering everything on the plan around me, but how can I also help other people is definitely a big part of it too. But some of those things that you put on there, that you put on those 1-year plans or those 2-year plans, I've gone back and looked at a 1-year plan that I had from 2018, and that goal ended up getting accomplished, but not until like 2021 or 2022. And so I think it's super important to write down all those goals and all those things. Putting a timeline on it will help motivate you and get you moving in the right direction, but the timeline has to be fluid. And so like 10 years from now, for me, what I want to be doing, I want to be living in DC.
You want to be like living there, that's your home base, not like I'm jumping around. I stay in DC for a month at a time or so.
I want to be living in DC.
Okay.
I do want to go back to DC. I definitely want to have at least 2 of the projects that I'm working on published. And, you know, I think those are the 2 main things right now. And I mean, 10 years is a long time to accomplish that.
I mean, bro, we have you on the spot here. I mean, that was better than, I feel like we're going to get a lot of answers in the future. So that was pretty good.
Right.
Well, I mean, I do think about this kind of often. So.
Well, sir, we definitely want to thank you for being here today. I mean, you've definitely given us some insight. I mean, you've proven that you are a true Howard man, and principles of Howard are inside you, veritas et utilitas, truth and service. I mean, it sounds that way every time you're talking. I mean, every time you said this, I feel like those are the themes of all the things you've said today. We can trace that back somewhere. So clearly you learned something there.
A little bit.
Just a bit.
I gotta love the alma mater. Gotta love Howard. Gotta love Howard.
Yep. But before you get out of here, bro, we have a couple hot button things. So we're going to rattle them off. So be ready.
Oh, gosh.
So let's go. Just for you, we have some millennial hot takes. So I'm gonna jump around through here. The first one, is it 5'2" or 5'2"?
He just rolled his eyes so hard.
So
I could see him.
So I'm gonna go with 5'2" because I'm only 5'7", so I need to know that, you know, like she's
what the
now. That being said,
there's more than enough reason right there.
Now that being said, me personally, I don't care if she's 6'2" because she can still get it. Anyway, next.
Ain't nothing new if she's 6'2". Ain't nothing new.
Hey,
you might be 5'7", but okay, Tristan, take it away.
Hey,
Martin or Jamie?
Jamie.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
I feel like that's a very unpopular opinion.
That's why we're friends. Agree. Makes sense. Okay. He knows. Yeah. Jamie Foxx. Like, what did you think about Reboot? Is my reboot not fire?
Is what?
The Jamie Foxx reboot. I see you didn't even listen. See, terrible. Oh. You didn't even listen. Terrible.
Episode.
I've got a lot of things that's going on right now, man.
We have another question, sir. Focus. We have another question. Give me your top records right now. Top songs you're listening to. Like you got the chokehold on you.
Yeah, so I have two playlists that I'm spinning like constantly. One is actually called The Chokehold. That's like the songs that I just keep on listening to again and again. The other one is I have a playlist called 10. It actually has 11 tracks on it, but it's like the top 11 tracks that I'm listening to. I had to add an extra one. I had to actually add an extra one. But number one, song by Masego, but it's not on one of his albums. It's on a different album. The song is actually called Nehu, like Nayhoo. Great song.
We heard it playing this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. There's another song called Niagara by Rum Gold. That's a really good one that I've been spinning a lot. That's you'll be in your feelings a little bit if you listen to that. And so like this a very specific type of song.
Like
And
they're gonna
then,
cry, or like they're just gonna feel it.
so like it's very specific to the last 9 months for me. So, every once in a while I've gotta spin it, let the feeling, let whatever feelings that it conjures up be there, and then let them pass and then keep on going. And then the third one was kind of my summer anthem, and that is Kimmy Casanova. If you haven't heard that song, you need to give it a spin. You need to give it a spin.
Man.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's a smooth record. I definitely have to admit that, for sure. And if they ask me out right now, I'm saying yes off top. Who is clearly it's not Issa because she can't do that. But if they asked you out right now, who you saying yes to? You breaking plans for this one?
Chloe Bailey. Actually, no. I mean, so she's on the list, but actually, before Chloe Bailey, it would actually probably be. Oh well, we did say we can't do Issa. I'll stick with Chloe Bailey. Yep.
Slide right in the DMs, bro. Slide right in.
I mean,
and who said he hasn't?
I might be right.
The comments is on a different level right now, man. It's not a bad idea.
Top three books or top 3 movies?
Either or. Either one. Like of all time?
Right. Yeah, just right now in your life, all time. Yeah.
Okay.
What comes to mind?
Yeah.
I'll go top 3 movies. Number 1 is Gladiator, Always and Forever.
Respectable choice right there.
Is Love Jones. I still remember the first time I saw that movie. That was actually one of the first things that made me want to be a writer. Like no joke, all jokes aside, seeing that movie.
Okay, like, Darius Love Hall.
No. But seriously, like he got up there and he did that poem. I used to know
the rhythm in your inner thigh. Talk about it.
I used to talk know about that it. Cold. Yeah. And then the third one would probably be Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a classic.
Yeah.
All right.
Gabrielle Union up in there looking crazy. Good. Yeah. Bad Boys 2.
Okay. Now this is an important one. And I want you to think about this very carefully. Okay. This is important. What topic do you want to hear us discuss on this show going forward?
That's a good one.
Well, first
you know what I think?
The old ones. Yeah,
would be nice. Would be nice. Would be nice.
The number was previously discussed. It's only four. You got time to catch up.
This is why she's the Dawn, guys. This is why she's the Dawn.
I feel that. Hey, listen. I've got 2 days off. I'm gonna be listening to the podcast. You know what? When I was the last time, the first episode, I listened to it while I was putting my closet together. So I will be listening to it on my off day.
We're gonna quiz you.
Love to hear.
Have y'all? Yeah. Have y'all discussed mental health?
No, but it's on our docket.
Loosely,
yeah.
Loosely. Not as a whole segment. Like, what would you want to see talking about mental health?
I think a big thing would be, the importance of therapy. But even if people don't have a designated therapist that they're going to on a regular schedule and paying for and all that good stuff, it's very important to just have and know who the people are in your life that you can lean on and talk to if you are having a moment or having an issue that you feel needs to be discussed. Because one of the things that I've learned, as we can all tell, and I'm sure everybody here will attest to, like, I like to talk, but part of like that for me is also that.
Wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, I mean, you're the same. You're the same person. Exactly.
Hot meat
exactly. Oh, cast iron skillet. Anyway, but in that same vein, I always try to make sure that people know, listen, if you ever are in a situation where you need somebody to talk to, or you feel like you need to, like unload some kind of emotional burden or anything like that, then yes, like you can call me. my sleeping hours are still ridiculous. Like I'm usually up, like people can reach me. And just sometimes just knowing that you have that person available is a big deal. Like I've had plenty of conversations with people where I tell them like, listen, like I would rather you keep me up at 3 o'clock in the morning telling me about your issues than I have to go and give a speech about all the great things that I remember about you, you know?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Just having those people, or, you know, there have definitely been situations for me where I have made calls and taken calls where the first question I have for them is, do you have the emotional capacity right now for me to just talk for 20 minutes? And
that's a hell of a question to ask. Do you have the emotional capacity to talk to me right now?
I think we should do that a lot more, because sometimes people will, you know, throw all their shit on you at once. And it's like, oh, I thought we were about to talk about not ready. I can't do this. You know,
now you see why I don't answer people's phone calls.
Yes. No.
Any excuse you got, Leslie.
I have the capacity for you right now. Okay.
But might have just started a trend. Might have just started.
But that's a very real thing. That's a very real thing, and it's very important, because you never know what the other person is going through on the other end of the phone, especially if you don't talk to them on a regular basis. And so to just cold call somebody, it's like cold calling, asking people for money. I know everybody in this group has had that happen recently.
No, you want to talk?
Talk about it. You know. And so it's very important to be able to understand you might not be able to handle this right now. And so I'm going to respect that boundary enough to let you know before I just dive into this super heavy topic on you, you know? Mm-hmm. And so that is something that I have definitely started practicing. And it's something that I hope that as other people see me doing it, they will understand like, maybe I should do this too, because like it's very much, it leads for much better conversation, because then you're just automatically in receive mode. It's like, okay, you're about to hit me with something heavy. Let me pour a drink. Let me turn off the game. Let me turn on the lights. Let me light some incense, you know, fire up the sage to get whatever these crazy spirits are out of here. You know, you got to be prepared.
I ain't mad at you. And we have
so I think.
Oh, go ahead, please. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that would be a good topic.
Okay, we appreciate that. Well, see, now the next question. This is great because that is a great topic. Now the last question you have goes right into that. Who's a guest you would like to see on this show? And whoever you suggest, you should be able to help us get them on this show. I'm just gonna put that out.
So, I mean, wow, already said he want Issa on here. Can you help us get her?
I mean, he knows her publicist. He's in Atlanta. He's there.
So I actually know 3 practicing mental health resources. We all know Nathaniel. So we could bring Nathaniel.
He's already slated. No. Okay. He's already slated.
Try no. I'm saying
he got like 2 more. He said
he got 2 more. You're right.
There is a young woman that I know here in Atlanta who's also a practicing mental health counselor. That would be another one.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious myself.
We met in Atlanta.
Of course you did.
During the summer.
Met at a party in Atlanta. And we told him he was going to fly back to Chicago. And it's fine. Whatever.
Look at
it's not
important.
It's not important.
When the dimples come out.
Yo, she ain't going to do the show. She ever hear this. Let's keep it moving.
Sorry.
I can cut this out. It's fine.
Sorry, girl.
We met in Atlanta. It's fine. Anyway, and then the third one, one of my best friends from high school, he's a practicing counselor back home in Michigan, in our hometown. And so I think any of the 3 of them would be really good resources.
Wonderful, sir. Well, thank you. And we're going to hope you send out that introductory email telling them about the wonders you had on this show and that you would love for them to come on. Thank you, sir, in advance.
Episodes are.
Exactly.
You know what? I don't like to recommend anything that I have not personally taken part in. So I will make sure that I listen to all the previous episodes, and then I will send out that introductory email.
We appreciate that, sir.
The greatness that is
make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for stopping by and dropping some mental gems on us and really sharing your experience and being very open with us here in this safe space. Okay, because that's what it is.
Yes.
It's a safe space. I promise you.
It's safe. It's a safe space this week.
It's not always
whatever.
safe,
and that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
It's not always safe, but it's always entertaining.
Today,
I mean, did you die? No, you're good. It's fine.
That's going on merch, Tristan. It's not always safe, but it's always entertaining.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm here for that. But again, thank you, sir. And, don't be a stranger. Would love to have you back. You're welcome anytime on the show, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Our
Appreciate
first
you, friend.
guest.
Everybody clap it up for our first guest. Yes.
Thank you. I definitely feel honored. I definitely feel honored, and I slightly feel like I was owed this since I caught so many strays in that first episode.
Wow. You were shouted out of the goodness of our hearts. We shouted you out.
Is that what it was? Was that a shout
exactly
out?
what it was?
Remember what we said.
I hate to see what a stray really looks like then. My God.
Okay. Anyway, y'all, until the next time, I'm Trist.
It's your girl, Les.
Shauna Dunn.
We're the collective, and this is the Millennial Masterclass podcast, and we out.
Bye, y'all.
Tune in, subscribe, all of that.
I have to drop a mic.
Lord, please don't drop that mic. We need it for next week. Don't drop it.
Okay.